One of the biggest obstacles and costs to e-commerce brands is the amount of customers that do not return after purchasing their products. And it is excruciating trying to rely on new traffic continuously. So one of the best ways that we found to increase our client traffic and revenue is by making sure that they have a high return rate. But the only way to do that is to make sure that you have a win-back flow in place. That's exactly why I wanted to put together this video, because with this video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process that we use and the exact layout that we use for our win-back flow to make sure that we're recovering hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month for our clients from this flow alone. And the way that we do that is obviously through the structure, making sure that we're recovering those customers' purchase once over all time, and we're making sure that they become repeat customers. And if that's you and you want to figure out how to recover that lost revenue, then watch until the end, because I'm going to go over everything in excruciating detail to the point that there's no fluff at all. So let's get into it. All right, so once you're in the back end, again, as always, we are going to create our own flow. Now, if you want to look at how Klaviyo has set it up for you as a standard, you're welcome to do that. But I do want to talk through the psychology of why people lapse so that you can think better about how to actually target them again, all right? So this is the reason why people tend to become win-back opportunities, right? It's usually a case that the product just didn't work for them the first time they purchased. The second thing is high prices. Third thing is just cutting down on costs because of the economic crisis and maybe negative experiences. And then also better competitor pricing. You would be surprised by how many people start to compare prices as they go along, especially in an economic crisis, and they start to doubt their purchase with you. And keeping in mind, the win-back flow is very, very powerful because these are people that had bought the product before. They're not complete strangers. They've tried it before, and for some reason, they just did not become a repeat customer. And this is something valuable that you need to think about, because you cannot rely solely on new customers. You need to make sure there's a strong repeat customer basis. But so many companies have like massive amounts of win-back customers in their list that is damaging their revenue. So how we want to think about this is we want to go ahead and we want to create our own flow, okay? So win-back flow, YouTube, I'm just going to make it that, and we want to create it manually. Now what we want to go ahead and do is we want to select our trigger as anyone that has placed an order before, okay? Place an order, and we want to make it that so you can make it with a specific product. I'm not going to do that, but you need to add a profile filter. The profile filter is very important. What someone has done, and they have placed an order. So place order 0 times since starting the flow, okay? It's very important. Now what you want to go ahead and do is you don't have to change anything with the filters or add conditional splits or anything like that, right? Always remember the profile filter. If you add place order 0 times, it means that throughout the entire flow, it's going to be metrically tracking people that place an order and removing them from the flow for you. So be careful with that filter unless that is your intention, which it is for me. Now, first things first is we want to add a time delay. So the psychology here is we want to wait until our win-back period comes around. For every brand, it is going to be very different, so listen closely. For a company that is a usable product, meaning that it is a supplement or maybe is something else like a wellness product that you need to use consistently, generally the average lifespan of that is about 30 days. I have a rule of thumb where I like to say that if they are supposed to buy this product, let's just say every 30 days, I give them a kind of leeway of an extra month. So if the average lifespan is 30 days, then I like to double that just as a safekeeping. Some brands often send a win-back email way too soon. We don't want to go into that danger zone. So it's very dependent on you. It's usually between 60 to 75 days that becomes a win-back period, okay? So I will say, if we're a supplement company, and I'm doing that in that case, if we want to wait 60 days. Now remember, the filter is making sure that they haven't placed an order since 60 days. What we want to do is send an email. Now this is going to be based on SMS and email. You can decide, but I want you to remember that you can just avoid the SMS or just ignore the SMS that I put in. You don't have to apply it if you don't want SMS. But what we want to do is we want to be very straightforward. We want to say, we miss you, okay? Or we haven't seen you in a while, or whatever the case is. And you can use its functionality of suggestions. So let's just see actually if they have anything. Yeah, let's just use this. So we'll say, look, we've missed you and a lot has changed. since you came back. Now, what I like to do with this first email is it depends on you and how aggressive you want to be. Remember statistically that it takes about 2 emails for the person to fall off completely and completely show no interest. So this could be your one and only shot. So you can go one of 2 ways. Number 1, show a very aggressive offer in this first email, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to fall into discount culture. So what we always encourage as an agency for our clients is we like to encourage that we set up a way where the first email is as encouraging as possible about all these possible pain points, and we're kind of reassuring them about them inadvertently. And then the second email is where we throw in an offer. So this first email is very simple. It's just say, hey, we've missed you. And what I like to do in this email is I like to talk about and showcase our best sellers. I like to showcase some of the new products that have come in since they last came around. And I like to give a reintroduction into the brand. So something like, hey, we haven't seen you for a while. Just to catch you up, this is what we've been doing. This is something that we're focusing on. This is our, why we do what we do. Just a very short, simple email. Here's an example aesthetically of how it will look. To me, this is too simple, especially for a Winback. I mean, if they haven't seen the brand for a while, this is not going to convert them. But they do things really quickly and well, where in the first 5 seconds, they have their headline, they have the product image, and they have a CTA. And then lower down, they have their best sellers. That is something that you should implement. Now, what I like to do afterwards is I like to add another time delay of a day. So we'll just add 1 day, and we will add a email that is our first offer, and it's a very aggressive offer. I like to say that you should be willing to spend a lot of money to get this customer back. So think about your average order value. Okay, let's say your average order value is about $60 or whatever the case is. You should, in theory, be willing to spend at least $50 to win this customer back, because once they won back, they will spend $60 every single month. So that is what you're willing to spend on them. This is just the psychology of how we think about it. But the way that we do it is we want to make an aggressive offer. So usually upwards of 30 to 40% is what we offer. So we'll say, here's our best offer for 24 hours only, or 48 hours only, okay? So let's say 48 hours only. And we'll make it that, and then we'll say 40% off inside with code, okay? So we like to do that. And we like to make sure that in this email, we immediately make it way shorter. We're way more to the point. So this would technically be our second email. And in this email, we're just showing them the exact discount code. So what it will look like design-wise is very similar to our welcome email. It will pretty much be like this, but as a kind of win-back email. So instead, we'll say, save 40% off before it's too late. And then we will give them on all of our products is site-wide. And what we're gonna do in this email is just underneath this flap, once we've shown them the 30% off discount, we're actually gonna give them the code, obviously, so Winback 30 or 40 or whatever, but then right underneath this, we wanna show them our best-selling categories, or just general categories, not specific products. The reason for that is because we don't wanna ostracize anyone that is not interested in those products that we're showing, but we wanna show the categories so that they know what we offer again. And from there, obviously they can get a percentage off any of those. Sometimes it's even good to show some price cuts. So you show the before and after of specific prices so they can see what kind of deal they're getting. And what this does is, number one, it shows that our prices are better. And in the first or second email, we like to show us versus them in pricing. It's so strategic and it works incredibly, incredibly well. It's such a powerful FU to your competitors, and also it kind of helps reassure this customer why they should be buying from you. Because remember, pricing is one of the main reasons they lapsed in the first place. So what we like to do is in the email, we'll say, hey, by the way, here's like an infographic showing our product versus their product with pricing, with benefits and everything. So that's what we like to do. Then we also, in the first or second email, will throw in a quick little testimonial. But you do want to keep the second email as simple and as short as possible. So do it strategically and pick which one you want to offer or show. And then in the first one, you can show the others. So some testimonials, some us versus them will be good in the first email. And in the second email, just some categories and a quick discount code with maybe a testimonial, okay? Then we want to send an SMS. So this will be the only time in this flow that we do send an SMS, and we'll send it about an hour after we send the first email. And this one we'll just send an SMS and we'll say something similar. Just short SMS saying, hey, we haven't seen you for a while. Here's our best offer for 24 hours. And that's it. Okay. Then again, another time delay of a day, sorry. And we want to make sure that we are always, just good practice to send in the AM of the recipient's time zone, or sometimes to be safe, EST, depending on what time zone you're in. After we sent over the 2 emails and the SMS, we'll send over our last email, which you can either make a message from the founder, or we can say, well, this will be the second last email, sorry. And this one, ideally, we want to make either a message from the founder, or in our case, what I like to do is I'll say, hey, 24 hours left, 40% off, okay? Or you can show like kind of some kind of dollar off. It depends on what you know works best. And you can even split test this. So sometimes we do like to split test to where we will test between a dollar discount and a percentage off to see what actually converts the best. Okay, so you can decide how you want to go about that. But sometimes we just like to do this, and then this will be the simplest email, or we will find some elements that we didn't include in the previous emails. But this will be short, saying, hey, 24 hours left, it's the only time, otherwise you're going to stop receiving emails from us. Okay, so very simple. Then after this, we like to wait a day, and then we'll send one last email. And this one is a text only email from the founder. So what we really love doing is adding some personalization, especially in this flow. So I'll send an email, something along the lines of, hey, it's Jane from XYZ Wellness. I wanted to send you an email because I noticed you haven't been back for a while, and we even gave you our best offer. I get it. I know things can get busy and maybe our brand just doesn't align with you anymore, but I wanted to personally extend another discount for you. It'll be for the last, 6 hours or something. If it doesn't suit you, no worries, but I did want to personally reach out and just give one last chance. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, no worries, and we'll stop sending you emails. So that personal touch goes a long way, and you need to leave a link in that email. And the reason for that is because they feel more of an obligation that the owner took the time out to actually reach out. So that is a really, really good thing that you can use as well. So this is pretty much how it will look if you want to add conditional splits, but again, you don't have to. And you can see some of our subject lines, okay? So you can see the subject line, 24 hours until your gift expires, here's our best discount for 48 hours, and all of that. So very simple, very, very simple flow, very effective flow. And then from here, what you can do is you can add a property tag, and you can add this where you can say Winback as true. Okay, so whenever you create a segment, you can create a Winback segment of anyone that's gone through the Winback sequence and then never converted. And what we like to do is we then filter these people into the sunset flow. So they will automatically be filtered into the sunset flow, which I'll cover in another video. But for now, that's pretty much everything. So if you want to go ahead and build this, just pause the video, go have a look at our build out, and you can follow along. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link below the description with a exact build out of what we have used for multi 7-figure brands to get them good results with the Winback and win back tons of customers for them. But if you don't want to build it yourself and you actually want an agency that can come in and do it for you, then we're definitely the ones for that. But we only work with people that are looking to scale aggressively. It's the only way we know how to scale. And if that is you want to work with us and an agency specifically that only works on performance, then go down below to the description. It will be the first link. You can book in a discovery call. This is where we will have a conversation to see whether it is worthwhile and if your brand is a good fit, because we are very picky, especially because we take on all the risk since we have a guarantee and we only work on performance. So if you want to try your luck, you want to see if you can work with an agency that will scale you very quickly and you have the capacity for that, then go down below, book in a call. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.